Welcome back here at 5 o'clock. The leaders of the Federal Drug Enforcement Agency say despite marijuana legalization efforts in several states nationwide, it is denying two petitions to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. The denial means that marijuana will continue to remain in the most restrictive category under federal drug control laws. In its decision, the DEA says marijuana does not meet the criteria for currently accepted medical use in the United States. Those asking for the change in federal policy, including the governor of Washington state, are disappointed that the U.S. does not have a national standard for medical marijuana. So what does the DEA's decision not to reclassify marijuana mean for people who already use the drug for so-called medicinal purposes?
And here tonight to talk about this decision is local criminal defense attorney Vikas Bajaj. Thank you for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you.
So explain to us why this major disconnect between the federal government and local governments on this marijuana issue.
Well, that's the trillion-dollar question, really. I think, we look to the agencies that have really supported this decision that was just brought down from Mr. Rosenberg, who is the acting director of the DEA. And really, he was called upon by a number of states, not just the two governors that were just referenced, but a number of states saying, we need to have clear rules. The only way to have clear rules, federal government, Mr. Rosenberg and the DEA, is to tell us that it's not a Schedule I drug. See, Schedule I simply means it's very addictive, high potential for abuse, and no recognized medicinal quality.
Like heroin.
Yeah.
Exactly. Heroin, LSD, even peyote, for instance, is on that list. MDMA, commonly known as ecstasy. Very few people would say, well, it's something that actually helps you medicinally. Although some of the German counselors, marriage counselors in the 1930s and earlier would disagree because they actually used it as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. You got the state, we use Colorado as an example. Right now, you can buy pot in Colorado, not just for medicine, but for recreational use. Yes. Why doesn't the federal government, if it is illegal, and if it is a dangerous drug, according to the federal government, why doesn't the federal government sue the state of Colorado and say you're breaking federal law? Well,
again, an excellent question. I was talking about this a little bit earlier today, and I said, the real move, the only thing that has any resemblance of cohesion here with what was pitched to the voters when Mr. Obama ran for the presidency and saying we're going to open up the area of research for legalization of marijuana. The only thing that really makes sense, given that argument, is we now have to prosecute the states of our union who are now allowing the citizens and aiding and abetting the criminality. The reality is this. We have decisions made and memorandums given. Eric Holder, the Attorney General, a couple of years back in August said, the federal government is not interested in criminal prosecution of those who are legitimately operating medicinal marijuana outlets. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, in my practice, I have hundreds of clients that say, well, Mr. Bajaj, can I open up a dispensary? Mm-hmm. It's legal, isn't it? Can I have it in my car if I buy it from a dispensary? There is so much of a gray area here. It is really the majority of the topic. And it's very difficult. But to your point, what do you do? It just doesn't make sense to have this decision coming on the brink of an election and saying we're not going to criminally go after the states.
It's really become a gray area for parents as well, the legalization of marijuana in certain states. And of course, it reached the White House this week when Malia Obama, the older daughter of President Obama, was photographed, videoed smoking pot at a party with a bunch of friends.
In Chicago.
In Chicago.
Where it's illegal.
That's right. And, she is an 18-year-old individual. She's an adult. And will there be any type of criminal prosecution? A municipality saying, well, we're going to go ahead and come after the president's daughter? Calling a spade, it's not going to happen. But in reality, if that is not an example of what our society or some voters are saying is appropriate. And these voters are the voters that said, we want President Obama to be our president. And to have his daughter going through the media actually smoking an illegal narcotic under the law is just not corroborated or consistent.
Puts more wrinkles in our foreheads. That's what it does.
Absolutely, that's correct.
Vic Bajaj, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Congratulations. You say you're a little sleep deprived Because?
Well, my son was born yesterday, Vikas
great.
Bajaj II, 7 pounds 7 ounces at 10 a.m. But I couldn't miss the opportunity to talk about such a wonderful topic in front of wonderful people and talk to the citizens of San Diego.
Congratulations to you and your wife.
My pleasure. Thank you.